What's up, Optimists? It is Monday, July 10th, 2023, and we're out here trading in these streets, these stock market streets, these Wall Streets. um, Having a pretty awful day, mainly because I got up really early. So I actually had a hard time sleeping last night. So um, just got down here at like 4 a.m. and started trading. Did good in the stocks. But not so good in futures. I kept buying into Ascension and then getting hit on the drop on the channel. And what up, Kevin? What up, Tiny? Good to see y'all. And having said all that, I at one point I think it was down almost $1,400. I have made some of it back, but there's still a ways to go. So I'm going slower and I'm understanding the price action a little bit better today. Now at this point, I should say, I don't know about today, but at this point, understanding the price action a little bit better. Earlier, though, you could see like right here, kind of bought in. I did make profit on this, but kind of bought in on like buying into resistance on that ascension. You can see again right here, bought in for the breakout and got hit with this pullback here. I think I went 3 contracts here. So I ended up losing like $600 on this one. Had a trade on oil today earlier that was very frustrating because had this whole setup right here. That one was a win right here. Where I bought in expecting this breakout right here, bought in, didn't get it, pulled back. I bought another contract to average into the position that I could see this on the way, and it kept pulling back. And I was just hanging out here down like $350 or so, 360, and it was just ticking back and forth in this zone. So I was like, okay, I don't want this to dump down on me. So I sold it, and like 5 minutes later, it ripped up. So all I needed to do was hold it a little bit longer. Yeah, just kind of was struggling. I think I was just trading too early without the volume there, without the trend there, and all the support that everything needed. But now that price action is moving reasonably well, we're doing a lot better. Still down over a G today, so I got a long way to go in order to catch back up. Trailing max is at 1455. This is our first day trading on Apex, so it is what it is. Running into a ton of resistance up here at 44.45 on the ES. And if we jump over to book maps, now, so for those of you guys who don't know, book maps is getting extremely popular, extremely fast. I don't have an affiliate link for any of this stuff, but you can, if you have Thinkorswim and you have access to real-time data, you can actually get a free version of book maps. And all you have to do is reach out to Thinkorswim's support team by just clicking the support button here and just say, hey, can I get access to book maps? They will say, okay. It was like a 30-second conversation for me. And they just activated it. All I had to do was restart my Thinkorswim. I do have to be on the live version, not the paper trading version. But it's really kind of useful. So you can see this whole thing here looks overwhelming. It's actually really not. It's actually very useful. This is a heat map of size, like order size. So you can see this red line here. There's a lot of contracts chilling here at 44.40. So there's a high probability that we're going to run into some resistance there at 44.40. And then you can see there's a lot of contracts here at 44.38. So we might find some support there, but bear in mind, this is orange, that's red. Red is a little bit more harder resistance. You got this little scale here. You can change it out to a couple different colors. You can go all gray if you like, or like blue and yellow. I like the one with the red because I think it's easier to read. And there's that spot. So it pulled back exactly to that spot where I said where it was like orange and bounced there. So it's kind of an interesting program. A lot of sellers coming in, breaking through all these liquidity marks. Watch for support here. You can see that support kind of weakening a little bit, but at 44.36, you might find some support there. Bounce right at it, which is also where the VWAP is as well. So, yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing. You can see it's coming down, tapping off there. Now this spot switching red, and you can see it bouncing off there. So it's pretty fascinating. This Bookmaps program. You may want to check it out if you use Thinkorswim. You can check it out for free. There's not like a free trial. It's just free forever, but you only get access to, on the free version, you only get access to Microsoft, Apple, and the ES if you're trading futures, which is great because we trade futures. And I trade the ES more than I trade anything else. So maybe something worthwhile to check out if that's something that you're into. What up, Pawn? FOMO's still kicking in on me. Got hit with it on Friday. FOMO kicked the crap out of me all last week. And it wasn't just that it was FOMO. It was like I felt like I was trading emotionally all last week. I basically I didn't trade on Friday. I took the whole weekend off. I slept in a lot, got kind of caught up on my own emotions, so that I wasn't trading emotionally. Today is not FOMO. Today was just not accurate trading. I'm still down a G, but I have come back a couple $100. So Bookmaps is way too busy for me. That's how I felt at first. I've only used this basically today and a little bit over the weekend. But I'm learning it pretty quickly. There's not a lot to it. It is a lot to look at though. And I kind of use it like I have to trade in a different platform. I don't think I'd be able to trade on it. I think that'd be pretty challenging. Dude, this is what kept happening to me, man. That's what happened to me all morning. And that was very frustrating because I would like cut it, trying to be good, trying to do good risk management, and then it would rip like a minute or two afterwards. And it's happened to me like all morning. My flipper thinking on Bookmap, but price action will head toward liquidity, so it can give you plays what to get out before it gets there. Yeah, this is actually this is what I've been kind of using it for actually. Like, okay, there's resistance like where you can see all these contracts chilling at 45. So I'm like, I'm gonna get out at 44.50, like 2 ticks prior or something. And just kind of front run that. Give the book another look. What up, Antonio? Good to see you. Let's jump back into these charts over here. So we're right down here at this 44.34. This was a really strong resistance level in the pre-market. That's actually the open marker. So here we're on the 1 minute chart. Red to yellow on the 1 minute chart would look really nice. Let's take a look at Bookmaps and see what we got going on here. We had that big sell-off. We have a lot of contracts chilling down here at 44.30. And then the next area where there's a lot of contracts up there at 44.40. So you can see 44.30 is just below this area. I'm going to mark 30. So red to yellow on TTM would be nice. I think that's something worth looking out for. Let's get this caught up. This is like way behind. If I was watching my shorter term charts, I could have shorted this. currently below VWAP and whatnot. This could turn bearish on the day. ES is still green on the day, but not by much. It looks like it's gonna pop back up, but this was quite the contract dump here. That's 4,000 contracts in 10 seconds, like 4,200. So there's a lot of liquidity right now. I am trying to figure out how to change these up because I just have current order book on both of them, and right click and left click don't seem to do anything. When I watch the tutorials, there's like click here, but they don't say what kind of click or how to make it work. So I don't know what's up with that. So I wanted to do the session volume to get a little bit more sort of like this view, like the market depth. Nice little pop up here. I didn't take it just because it was pushing into the volume weighted average price. So we might get a little bit of a pullback and then potentially another bounce up towards 40. There's a lot of resistance at 40 though. And actually you can see it formed at 39.75. So I think like getting some pullback now. This might be a nice bounce off VWAP. Gonna take a breath. In through the nose, now through the mouth. Let's check it on the 20. So 20 got some TTM movement. There's a 20-second cross, but it just happened, so it's not trustworthy yet. Thank you, Antonio. By the way, if y'all chilling, hanging out, appreciate it if y'all would like the video. Subscribe if you're not already. And we have an awesome Discord community. We'd love to see y'all in there. Just pulling back pretty heavily. We'll see if we get a bounce off the view app. Jump to Bookmap. If this is providing some value to us right now. Not really so much in this zone. Okay, so that crossover did play. We gotta watch out for resistance on this EMA 35, which is right there at 37.50. I'm already down a G, so I have a ways to go to come back. So I'm trying to just come back $100 at a time, one trade at a time. With 3 contracts, 3 ticks. Watching the 10-second chart, I'm gonna look for a red yellow on this 10-second. Currently the EMA 30. Ooh, there's that red yellow. Wow, that was fast though. Too fast for me to catch that. I'm gonna put a buy order down here at 37.25.
Order filled.
In at 37.25. Looking for a pop up to 38. It's kind of pulling back a little bit more than I want. That was a heavy pullback. We're gonna have to cut this down 300. Yikes. Ooh. Sort of rejected that zone. Gotta cut that. Yowzers.
Order filled.
That was a pretty heavy loss. And we're right back to where we started. It was a pretty terrible first day for me trading this account here. Got to drop it back to one contract, which drives me insane because it just feels like making $75 a trade or even like $25 $30 a trade just drives me kind of nuts. So I usually try to shoot for at least $100 a trade, but yeah, I gotta trade what's in front of me. Definitely looks like I should be potentially going short on a lot of these moves, though. Not long. How are you doing today so far, Fawn? I saw that pretty heavy L day in the Discord community. I'm sorry to see that. Oh, by the way, y'all, I wanted to update you. I'm gonna be ending the streams at 8:30 daily because I moved my gym time to after the stream instead of before. So I'm gonna be doing essentially end at 8:30 so I can get to the gym by 9. I was getting up at 3 a.m. to get to the gym by 4, but it just sort of takes a toll on me. So I was doing that for a long time. Checking book maps. Man, I can't believe we took that L just now. My accuracy is straight up 50-50. I have 6 losses and 6 wins. And my largest win was only 112, but my largest loss is 637. So definitely not managing my risk well today. And that's been pretty frustrating. I don't really think that I'll be getting green today necessarily. Are you driving right now? I don't think I'll necessarily be getting green today just because I'm down so much, but my hope is that it can come back a little bit. I mean, if I can even come back like $500-600, that would be very beneficial. I don't know that I can, and I'm definitely not going to push it if it becomes the situation, but we did find some support here right where I cut it, unfortunately. TTM's at 3.4. Let's check this book map. So we're kind of running into the volume weighted average price here. So, not going to trade yet. I'm probably going to look for this crossover to happen, which is a ways out. It's like $4 apart, but I don't know. It does look like there's some potential for this to come back and then basically do that crossover and then probably test the highs at that point. But right now we're kind of riding the VWAP, and that's always a very dangerous place to be. Oil got a nice breakout that the 50 cross predicted. Oil breaking above 74. Officially going green on the day, which is good for oil contracts if you're going long, bad for gas prices. Speaking of gas prices, Lamborghini is no longer going to be making gasoline vehicles, like gasoline solely. They're going to be making either hybrid or all electric, one of the two. From now on, they officially rolled the last internal combustion. How do I put it? Not internal combustion, but the last internal combustion system or engine off the line that is not hybrid assisted. Is that clear enough? Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm a car geek, so got a little hammer candle here on this double bottom support. Yeah, this doesn't look too bad. Join the bid here. Try to anyway. Been struggling to get fills lately. This has actually been a pretty consistent issue. Tapped my buy order, but no fill.
Order filled.
There you go. Tapped it again, but on a drop. So I'm in one contract at 37. I'm trying to get that contract out at 37.75. So I'm going for 3.6 to the upside. And there it is again, man. What the hell? Just a lot of the patterns just haven't been playing lately. This one did pop up to 38.50 on this wick. 37.75 is potentially asking too much because you can see this resistance right here at 37.50. I don't think it's too much. This resistance is only on the 10-second chart, but sometimes that's enough. We just needed to go up 2 ticks. Back at break even.
Order
There
filled.
we go. Got a 1 contract move there. 1 contract, 3 ticks. So made, I don't know, $1 or something back. 37.50. So I think that we're going to be trading like that for a while we build up this trailing max that I kind of wrecked already today on the first day. And you know what? This happened to me last week too, trading my brand new evaluation in Elite Trader Funding. And I don't know what's up with it because it's not something that I've been dealing with for a long time. And it just kind of feels like buying into a situation like this here, and then it's pulling back, and then I'm cutting, and then it's ripping. And that's been something that's been happening very consistently throughout the last 2 weeks. And so it's been really kind of trying to find that very specific balance as in the way that the market's been running the last 2 weeks or so. That is terrorism. What is terrorism? What did I missed something? What is terrorism? Green 361 today? Hell yeah, man. Trading 2 micro NQ contracts. Wow. Oh, the Lamborghini news. Remember, overall trend is short today with no big confirmation of reversal back up. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I feel like I should be going short. Let's zoom out. Let's take a look. When in doubt, zoom out. Well, it definitely triple topped up there at 44,650. Which is where, well, this is at 44.40. So there's a ton of resistance at 40. Take a look at the 15. So we do actually have a 15-minute breakout inbound. Probably won't hit till about 9:30. So about another hour and a half for that hit to happen. But it does look like that's inbound. You can see the 50 EMA and the 200 working their way towards a cross. The 15-minute breakout is probably one of the most powerful ones. When this golden cross happens on the 15-minute chart, I've seen entire like multi-day runs off of this particular crossover. If we zoom out, I'm sure we could show that. Incidentally, all right, so check it. So this is the last time that there was that 15 minute 5200 cross. You can see it right here. It was at 43.90 when the crossover took place, and it ran all the way up, bouncing along the 200 moving average, all the way up to 4,500 or 44.98.95 area. So it ran up like what, $100? Yeah, it ran up like $100 over the course of, when was this? June 27th, and it peaked June 30th. So it was a 3-day, multi-day run. And then by that point, you could see it just sort of like went sideways for a while until the crossover happened to the downside on the 15-minute chart. It started pulling back this way. And you can see now that crossover it's on its way, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen. Here's a fake out right here of that exact situation. So you can see this pushed up, it got pretty close to the cross, but didn't actually take place, and you can see it dump down. So that may end up being the situation here. It looks less like that to me. Like this looks like it could actually hit the cross, but anything can happen between now and that time. So having said all that, I still think it looks kind of bearish. Well, I don't know. It looks like it's finding support here in this area, I should say. That's more what it looks like to me. And yeah, the Lamborghini news. Why the hell? But it doesn't matter. I'm not the biggest Lamborghini fan, unless you're talking the 70s Lamborghinis, and the 80s. I love the 70s and 80s Lamborghinis. Those ones are my favorite. But mainly I love JDM cars. Like I love all cars. Like I really do. Like I genuinely just sort of feel that like cars are sort of this expression. That like there's almost nothing more American than like going on a road trip in your car and just like customizing your car and just like living in your car practically. Americans love their cars, and I am no exception. I love my cars. And oh wow, that feels so much better. I was like sitting low in the seat. And I really love JDM cars and cars that you wouldn't expect to like a 1986 Toyota Corolla. A lot of people would look at them and be like, that's an ugly ass car. But it also is one of the best drift cars ever made. So I just yeah, same. I go on drives for peace of mind, like to get out, see scenery, open the window, breathe some fresh air, like all that. And so I don't know. I am just very much into that whole thing, and it just sort of feels like that is very much America to me. Like a big part of it. I knew so many people in my life who would like customize cars and just really got deep into it. I used, like I've mentioned before, I did run a performance parts store, and I loved the community. I loved like talking about like people when they talk about their cars and talk about like the stuff that they've done about it, it sounds like they're talking like an art project, like a painting that they created. And I think that that's just beautiful. But I digress. We got a hammer candle down here, bouncing on the VWAP. It's because it keeps rejecting the 50 EMA though. You can see it rejected here, here, and here. Like that gives me less confidence about this continuing to go upward. Even though it looks like it could bounce, it still is below the 200 moving average, above the VWAP, but below the 200. And on the 1 minute side, it looks like there is a potential for a downward cross. You had an 85 Tercel. I had an 86 Camry. I love that car too. I souped it up and blew it up. That's funny. Yeah, man, I love like 80s JDM cars. My favorite, one of my favorite cars of all time is the AW11 Toyota MR2 and the SW20, the second generation of the Toyota MR2. Really just all the MR2s. I love those cars. Like I love the look, the design, the pop-up headlights from the 80s, man, like all that, dude. Like, I just love all that style. Like there's so much pizzazz. It's just so much more inspiration and just like just a very unique design to so many different things. And I think that I think that is pretty amazing because a lot of the cars today very much the designer of Aston Martin said that they all look like jelly beans to him now. And I thought that was such a funny analogy for car design, modern car design. All right, so we're getting some resistance here at this 9 EMA on these hammer candles. I don't know what to make of this because this resistance on 9 EMA looks like a short to me. But with these hammer candles on the VWAP, it looks like a long to me. And so so I'm conflicted, and for those reasons, I'm not going to take a trade. Even though I see some price action happening, I want to take a trade, but because I'm getting this sort of like, for me, I don't know if it's going to go up or down. It's not really a good spot for me to jump in. There was a lot of contracts right there, 4,000 contracts to the downside, but it didn't really affect the price all that much, which could be a good thing for a breakout. This is looking more like an upward break on the way to me. I could be wrong. I was wrong, and it just broke down. Look at that. And that's why I didn't take a trade, because I just struggling on figuring out direction lately. Bounced reasonably well off that 35 area, or 33 area, I should say. Bounced reasonably well. $200 moving average crossing below the VWAP. This typically gives us an indication of a long breakout in the future. Not right now, not right away, but in the near future. So I think we're probably looking at 830 for that swap to the upside. For now, though, it looks like we're going to probably go down for a little bit. There is support at this level. You can see this level actually had a lot of contracts chilling here. So we may get a nice bounce here. You can see a lot of liquidity resistance coming in at 44.35. We'll see if this actually absorbs all these contracts down here. It looks like it could push lower potentially to this 4430 area. You can see there's a ton of contracts chilling there. A lot of limit orders there. It broke through it. You can see that liquidity got removed or absorbed. And there's a big drop here. So short really was the move. That was 3,400 contracts right there. Breaking below that support level of around 32, pulling back all the way to 28. That would have been a nice short. '69 Dodge Dart. That's a dope car. Let's see. '69 Dodge Dart. 226 slant. Slant 6 was my first and most favorite car I had. That's a dope car. Not gonna lie. One barrel Holly carb and a sweet tranny. But I can't remember the name of it. The poor old engine seized on me, and I had to donate her to someone who could fix her up. So I had a 73 Mustang. That car was always giving me problems. It was outside of the problems that it was always giving me. It got terrible gas mileage. 8 miles to the gallon that thing got. And I loved it. It was a lot of fun. I hated the mileage, and I hated that it broke down a lot, but I constantly had to fix it, and it taught me a lot about cars. Just having to fix, like, dude, my starter went out one day, like at the auto parts store. Like, I was at the auto parts store buying oil, and then went out, and my car wouldn't start, and figured out that it was my starter. Gratefully, I was at the auto parts store. This is bouncing nicely off that zone where all that liquidity was, and we talked about it's like a 4-point bounce, and then pulling back heavily. There's almost like too much price action for me. Like, it's like too much volatility. I'm worried that, like, if I don't know, like, take a move, it'll just go against me heavily or something. Might take one with like a 5-tick trail stop or something. But I want to get like a breakout like this here. But even this would have stopped me out. So I don't even know if that's a wise move. Problem with stop losses that they get stop hunted. A lot of contracts coming in. They're at 34. So fair amount of resistance at 34. And a reasonable amount of support here. But I think all this is going to get filled and pull back to 30. If it does continue to pull back, that is. I'm still new at Bookmaps. This is like my first real day using it. I do find some use in it, but also find some confusion in it as well. So still learning as to what causes what. We got a cyan on the TTM. 9 is above 12 on the current candle. And no crossover yet on the 1226. So it's not really a long that I would take yet, but we do have an opportunity for a long coming in. I would watch out for resistance though at the VWAP, probably actually before. So you can see there's resistance at 34 pretty heavily actually. Late model Mustangs were the greatest, but I still love those as well. Or were not the greatest, yeah. Well, I mean, they basically were a Pinto. I mean, the Pinto was like the same car. Good place to die on the side of the yeah. Auto parts store is probably the best place something like that could happen. So I had to go buy a starter like that moment and then go replace it in their parking lot. And I had no idea what I was doing. I had never replaced the starter before, so I just had to figure it out. Had very few problems with my Toyotas. But I did learn a lot about working on cars, working on my Toyotas too. I definitely wouldn't call myself a mechanic. I'm not that skilled, but nonetheless, I still try. Gonna go for 4 ticks if we get an opportunity. I mean, there are plenty of opportunities, but if I see one that fits my style and my strategy. 2 TMs is 0.8. We're below the 50 moving average and below the 35 moving average. Not places I like to be. They're below 50, below 35, and below the volume weight average price, and below the 200. Really, we're below all of the things that would make this be bullish, so I don't really know that I should take a trade here. Even though it looks like it has a setup inbound. Some of that liquidity got moved off 34 and moved up to 35. We got about 20 minutes available. Yes, it's just like too volatile. Oil falling down. Oil had a pretty large drop, actually. What? Just chilling here doing analysis today. Hey, we're Pinto Power. Now, I love the Maverick. The Maverick, like, and the Mercury Cougar, which was also a Mustang. But the Merc Cougar, man, that thing was dope. The Maverick, magnifique. Where is that styling, man? Like, can we get some people that are willing to be daring in the car industry to come up with some dope designs? I think Toyota is probably the one that's doing it most right now. Honda's going basic, unfortunately, because I love Honda. But they're headed off in the basic direction, so they're really taking, like, they're really going towards like commuter only, or luxury. Mazda went luxury, which is whack, because Mazda, I think, I loved my Mazda. Like, I had a Mazda 3 and a Mazda 6. And I loved my Mazda 3. That was probably my favorite car, actually, overall. What is this here? Shouldn't be here. But it's weird. I didn't realize I had all these. But yeah, Mazda's going towards the luxury side of things. They're trying to be like the Mercedes-Benz type situation. Oil looks like it's going to keep dropping. Yes, dropping down to 44.30s. I honestly feel like somewhat scared to trade. Like my confidence, I think, is shattered in trading. And it's gotten kind of shattered over these last few weeks, which was, very frustrating and kind of hurtful because we got pretty close to that funding. And so it was pretty frustrating to have to live with with the guilt of loss, if you will. Now, obviously, I didn't lose anything of like real value. I didn't lose a person or anything like that. Like that's really where value is, right? It's with our people. We got a yellow candle on the 3-minute TTM. Let's jump back to the 1 for a second here. See what's up. What you got? Are we actually finding some support here? Let's check out the 10-second. All right. Hey, 10 seconds getting some setups. We got 9 above 12, 12.26 crossover, 9 getting above the 35. So this could actually pop.
Order filled.
I got filled on that drop there. I was trying to get filled before and take that pop, but it worked out. Another 1 and 3 because I'm trading super small right now. Down $1,400 on the day. Long way to go to get back, but hey, it's working. There's a ton of volume in the ES today, so be careful. Like sometimes when there's this much volume, the volatility can wreck accounts. It's wrecked me plenty of times. So respect the volume, respect the ES, because it can come back and mess you up. This actually looks like a decent entry here, 32.25. I'm gonna go for it.
Order filled.
In at 32.25, 1 contract, going for 3 ticks again. Looking to get out 33.25. Actually, I'm going for 4 ticks. Pulled back. No, rejected off that. What? Massive rejection there, dude. Did you all see that? What? See if we pop back up. Should have gone for 3 ticks and literally tapped my 3 ticker at 33.
Order filled.
I took a second contract. I'm gonna try and get a bolt out at 33. I don't know if I like that. I'm gonna try and get out 32.50. It's kind of waving in the wind here. Century's at 32.25. That one's at 32.25. 32 and 32.25. So we're at 2 contracts. 87.50. No, go back to the right direction, homie. Go up. Let's get back in this 10-second chart here. I'm gonna need to see red to yellow on this TTM stat. 32.75 looked like it hit some heat there. Come on, 32.50. You can do it. You can do it. I'm only trying to get out with a single tick. This is what trading's been like for me the last 2 weeks. It's been very frustrating. All this time we've been doing fine, and then this last 2 weeks, man, it's just been where I needed to go up 1 tick and it just won't. Ah. Wow, bro. Dude, that's crazy. I gotta cut this. What the
Order
hell,
filled.
man? I gotta be done for the day. I mean, $1,700 loss, dude. I mean, that's insane. The size of this candle, though. I bet you I bottom filled this again. I've been doing this like the last 2 weeks. I mean, straight just bottom filling. It's driving me nuts. Like, I know I'm a good trader. I swear. Usually I'm getting like 85% accuracy. Zoom, zoom. An O2 Mazda tribute. I love them Mazdas, man. Like, especially the turn of the century ones, the like late 90s, early 2000s. That's like really where Mazda, I think, started to really find their stride. Like, they started adding a lot more power to the Miatas. Um, but not just power, they started adding more power and efficiency. The that's where they started coming out with the Mazda 3s. That Mazda 3 that I had a '08. It was the first car I ever bought brand new. Um, and I loved that car. I loved that car. It only had 60,000 miles on it. Got hit by a bus, a double decker bus. My wife was driving. She got hit by a double decker bus in it. She got pretty messed up. She was young too. Like, she was like in her early 20s when that happened. And man, that really was not fun. I loved that car, dude. Like, I really did. Especially because we had done like a couple mods to it, not that many, but a few. It was also when I was running the performance parts store too. So it was like we could take it to the car shows, and I don't know, I loved it. What up, ZZ? Green on one account, red on two accounts. I am very red on my brand new eval today, and I got wrecked last week too, man. Um, and so I've just been getting wrecked just week over week. This one sucked, and I bottom filled it. I knew I would too, man. It's like they know my exact level at which I'm like can't handle it no more. Which just so happens to be like 10 or 11 ticks. It's pretty consistent. I'm down $1,700 though, man, and I think that is way past my limit of where I should be, and I've only got about $900 left in trailing max. So I feel like I just need to be like waiting around for the market to be done, like for the market to go back to some sense of normalcy, but I don't really think that that's actually going to ever really be the case. Because because I still feel like we have this recession inbound, drop me on both sides. Exactly, dude. Like it's all range trading lately. The last like 3 weeks just been rangy and sideways and choppy, and with like massive resistance on both sides of the spectrum. Like sitting with like 5,000 contracts sitting up at the top and like 2,000 sitting at the bottom or something. I mean, you can see there's a ton of resistance here at 44.34. You can see there's 1,800 contracts chilling there. And then at 44.35, you can see there's 1,900, 2,000 contracts chilling there. So we've got like 4,000 contracts between this. You can see just how many contracts are chilling on these higher levels. Like, it's crazy. So I guess I just gotta wait for this crossover to actually happen. Otherwise, I keep ending up in situations like this. It's really hard for me to trade one contract too. It's just not like it's not enough. I mean, you're making like $40 off of a 3-tick trade. That's really hard to deal with. It's hard to get anywhere like that. You know what I mean? It's one of the reasons why trading micros is so hard for me. Because it's like I do all this work and make like $3. I'm like, oh, yay. All right. 9 and 12 are both above the 50, and the 35 is getting above the 52. We're getting some of this fake volatility here, where it's probably going to run it down to like 30, 31 area, and then bounce off that. I really feel like there's like more psychology going on right now than anything else, and I think it's trapping buyers and trapping sellers. And that's really what I actually think is kind of going on. So we're running up here at 3250 was 200 moving average. We've got the 50 moving average at 3150. So I think we may get a 830 breakout. This may happen before 830. But it does look like there's an 830 breakout inbound. I'll try getting in at 32 with 2 contracts. So that would be a push down below the 9 moving average and then a pop up off that. This is going to rip. Man, I should have held through that pullback. But I was already down like a couple $100, and I'm kind of tired of being down. It pre-ripped. Let's see what's up with the... All right, so we're probably going to have resistance there at 35, which is right where the VWAP is, and then the 200 moving average at 35.75. Let's check Bookmaps on that. Yeah, you can see Bookmaps has the red here, so it's breaking through that, selling off now. There's that red resistance level there, or I should just say liquidity level, and big pullback off that VWAP there. Looks like we have a 200 moving average crossover inbound. I'm going to try to join the bid
Order
in
filled.
at 33.75 on a pullback again. Mother truck. I feel like I need to like quit trading for like a month. I'm looking for a push up to 34.50. I think we're going to get it. Hitting resistance there? Really? Come on. You can see cyan on the TTM. It's just chilling on my sell order. And this is what it's been like all week, dude. Like last week and this week. Now I'll drop it down and take the profit. On like a single tick potentially, if I'm even lucky enough for that. But
Order filled.
there it is. But watch, it's gonna rip up. Probably up to the VWAP at 36. It's been going like this for me for the last like 3 weeks. Is Jerome on today? I guess it's the news. I hate Jerome Powell. Nas Micro won't disappoint you. I traded the Nas, dude. Like I traded the Nas a bunch last week, man, and I got wrecked on it. So it's like it does, and I've been getting wrecked on oil too. I've been getting wrecked on all the three things that I've traded the most and have the most experience on. Still, what up, Micah? Good to see you. Told you, man. I told you that it was gonna rip up, but it just had to pull back and test me for like 2 minutes and just make me be down for a while. It just keeps doing that. Like it's like a psychological hit. I don't know what's up with it, dude. But it's been acting this way since June, like the end of June. And it's been acting like identical to this exact way since the end of June. And just the way that the market moves, dude, the trading is just not, it's not for me. Like the way it's been moving the last few months or last few weeks. The NAS has been the same situation for me. Although the NAS does move faster, which is nicer for scalping. But I am really trying to like take, I don't know, I had this really solid strategy that was working for me for months, like 9 months. And then, you know, it just started not, like it's still working, but I'm dealing with a lot more headache in the meantime. You can see we're putting in all these dojis. It's that chop, you know. So we have a 20-second crossover inbound, and then we may already have a silent switch here. We do. We're above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute side. Check book maps. No clear resistance up until 39.75, where all that liquidity is chilling. Throw an order in at 36 and see if I can even get filled there. That'd be a 4-tick pullback. But this looks like we're going to come up and possibly test highs. I have to watch out for 40 as resistance. Let me go ahead and cut this. We've got the 9 moving average on approach as well. My concern is that I'm going to end up in some sort of ascending wedge, but this looks more like it's a flag formation. I would love to see a pullback, though, to like the 200 moving average. I think that would give this so much more feasibility. Pull back to like 35 or 35.75 or so, which is right in this area. Anywhere from the 9 moving average to 36.50, I think would look really solid. This candle just ended. It does look like a pullback will be inbound here. Currently down 16.71. Insanity. I still think like 36.50 or maybe even 35.50 is the value zone. There was a lot here at 37. Watch out for that resistance up there at 39.75 and 40. It's just too far up. I feel like it needs to pull back. Preferably, like I said, to about 35. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know if we're gonna get this pullback though, man. Nine is above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute side. You got this whole science switch going on here. I wish I had noticed the science switch on the 1 minute side before I cut this with that tiny little profit, because I definitely could have ridden this up. It's a long ride though. I had to get a cyan on the 3 minute side. Here we are at 8:30, so it's about time for me to be done with the stream. A flag there on the 1 minute. Got the golden crossover on the 20-second chart. And this topped out at 39.25. There's a lot of resistance up there at 39.75. We're at 38 right now. TTM is kind of cooling off. I really, like I said, would love to see a pullback to like 37 area. I don't know if we're going to get it though. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. Take my massive loss for the day. And head on out to the gym and work it off. So, much love and appreciation, y'all. I don't think that I'll be posting in the Discord community today, just because I got to get going. So, but yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern time. Almost went long in the ES, but my power is dead. Oh no. Yeah. So yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. Peace out, y'all. See you on the flip.